Each week from across America, 2 families are chosen. This week, the Downs family from Texas, who own a house but choose to live in an RV. All 9 members of the family sleep in the same room, and overprotective Paula spends 24 hours a day with her kids, never letting any of them out of her sight. And the Baileys from South Carolina. Career-obsessed Roz would rather spend time on her cell phone than talk to her kids. Husband Chad is a macho Mr. Mom who does all the housework. The Baker family from Tennessee. Christy and her 3 daughters are spoiled rotten by their dad, Richard. And the Donahos from upstate New York, who teach their kids the work ethic by waking them at 4:30 every morning to milk cows. This week, the Lascelles from Kentucky. Religious, llama-loving mom Fran believes that to raise righteous kids, you need strict discipline and hard work. So her kids put in 5 hours work a day on the farm, in addition to school. And the Nazarios from New York. For party-loving mom Lily, life's about fun. She takes her kids clubbing 3 nights a week, leaving unassertive husband David to do everything around the house, while the kids do nothing. This week, the Stone Rocks from Michigan. Christian Kelly is an outdoor-loving pastor's wife devoted to running her family on the principles of the Bible. Husband Jeff talks to God 100 times a day, and if his kids misbehave, he washes their mouths out with soap. And the Finleys from Georgia. Amber is an atheist who's scared of leaving the house and would rather play computer games than take care of her kids. Husband Reggie is known as the Infidel Guy and works 80 hours a week on his anti-God website. This week, the Elliots from Maryland. Shelley is a strict disciplinarian who desperately wants her kids to succeed. Her 2 children have to study hard all the time. During the school week, she won't let them watch TV, play video games, or even call their friends. And the Burkhalters from Mississippi. Sue is a self-confessed pushover who indulges her wayward daughters every whim. The 2 girls have dropped out of school and have no ambition. Their life consists of shopping and socializing, which they expect their parents to pay for. This week, the off-the-grid, back-to-the-past Padovan Hickmans of Virginia. Mom Delora lives in a log cabin with no electricity, so the whole family must use headlamps to see at night. Delora and husband Steve live as simply as possible and have eliminated what they call stuff. Girls Marin and Tara have a wardrobe of mainly under $1 thrift store finds, have never been to the mall, and to conserve resources, the whole family shares the same bathwater. And the Burrows of New Jersey. Glamorous Shannon Nicole loves living the American dream and demands the best of everything. She designed her house around a chandelier so it can be admired from the street, tattooed her eyebrows so they always look perfect, and has spent thousands on cosmetic procedures. Husband Shannon Michael pays for his wife's extravagances, spoils his kids with toys, and strives to always have the best technology. This week, the cattle ranching, rodeo riding Taylors of Texas. Proud homemaker Heather and cowboy husband Calvin believe women belong in the kitchen and men belong outside, breaking horses, roping cattle, and dominating the land. All 4 Taylor children are tough rodeo champions who aren't allowed to show emotion. If they cry, they're sent to the corner. And the creative, emotional Brazenwoods of North Carolina. Flamboyant mom Christina and astrologer husband Kelly are equal partners whose lives are guided by the stars. Christina's so in touch with nature that she tastes dirt and talks to plants and animals. Kelly has created his own mythic realm, Thandoria, and he even named his son Arion after a character he created. The real Arion spends his free time doing what the fictional character does, sword fighting and archery. This week, feel the fear with the Schultz family of Iowa. Horror-obsessed Dolly and Kevin own and run a haunted house and live to scare the living daylights out of people. Kevin is so passionate about his haunted house, he says it comes before his family, and he spends all his free time building gory props. Kids Cody and Cassie don't have many rules at home and love hanging out with their easygoing parents. And the straight-laced, wholesome Smith family of Florida. Mom Christine devotes her life to supporting her kids, training them to be swim champions. As husband Alan says, he'd rather keep them busy now than pay for rehab later. At home, Christine monitors the halls to make sure Danielle and Hunter are busy with homework and not talking with friends, as she and Alan believe in upholding the old-fashioned values they grew up with. This week, the Drago family of New Jersey. Ro is a perpetual mother who collects plastic babies called reborn dolls, which can breathe, have a heartbeat, wear real diapers, and can cost up to $5,000. As well as her 14 plastic babies, she also has 3 real kids who are indulged by Ro and Dad Jay to the point that 19-year-old Nick has no job and hangs around all day in his PJs. And the hardworking Camerons from Alabama. Teresa and Dave don't baby their boys, but treat them as responsible adults. Their kids have to grow up fast, working every day in the family coffee shop and hot dog stand. And when they're not at work, the boys have a long list of responsibilities and chores to complete at home. This week, the Goth Schroeder family of Indiana. Mom Sheila is obsessed with the dark side, wears vintage funeral costumes out shopping, and enjoys taking her gothlings for picnics in the cemetery. The Schroeder kids are so immersed in goth culture, they know how to kill zombies and talk to the dead. Former dancer dad Eric encourages his boys to be creative by dancing ballet and dressing goth, even though they get teased for it. And the macho hockey-playing Wardles of New York. Mom Stacy is so obsessed with hockey and winning that she calls her kids losers when they fail to perform on the ice. Hockey dad Ed goes straight from work to the rink to cheer on the rough-and-tumble Wardle boys as they face off on the ice. Ballet dancing daughter Emma feels left out as the rest of her family thinks dance is boring. This week, the football fanatic Spencer family from Texas. Trophy wife Debbie lives to support her husband and sons by cheering them on as they play high school, college, and semi-professional football. Macho husband Mike expects Debbie to keep herself up, keep the house clean, and serve his and his sons every whim. Sons Kirby and Chase are growing up to be just as macho as their dad, as they are learning it's a man's role to bring home the bacon and do nothing around the house. And the free-spirited, happy, hippie Halla Wrens of Georgia. Feminist mom Mackenzie doesn't believe in gender roles, hasn't shaved her armpits in 20 years, and splits all domestic duties with her Ivy League-educated husband, who works as a professional clown. Mackenzie and Ruben have equal roles as partners and parents to their two sons. Elijah, who loves pink and gets mistaken for a girl, and Devin, who along with his brother, practices aerial dance. This week, the seriously competitive Harris family of Tennessee. No-nonsense parents Jen and Ken believe raising young children is just like training adult gymnasts. Mackenzie 8 trains 16 hours a week at the gym, and Hunter 6 already runs a small business to earn money for college. As Jen and Ken are sticklers about taking responsibility for future financial planning. There's no room for childish games at home, and bad behavior can be punished by the kids having to pick up rocks in the backyard. And the goofy kickball-loving weasels of Michigan. Carefree parents Shanna and Jamie never want to grow up and are obsessed with playing a game usually reserved for grade school kids. Whether they win or lose, they always have fun and party hard afterwards. Shanna and Jamie live by the seat of their pants. Their spend-now mentality means they have no savings plan. Big kid Jamie struggles with any adult responsibility and never disciplines his two boys. This week, the Pirates of the Northwest, the Bauer family. Tori and husband John have dropped out of mainstream society to live as pirates. They raised their family in an atmosphere of freewheeling chaos and believe pirates don't need to pay the bills. And the Fine family from California. Professional organizer Lisa obsessively orders, organizes, and labels everything in her house, including her cookie-cutter husband and children. Daughter Ashley is a mini version of Mom, who wanted her very own label maker for her birthday. This week, a family of ghost hunters. Samantha Myers and her shaman husband Shane believe in ghosts, ghouls, and poltergeists, and take their psychic kids to graveyards to hunt them down. Sam is a cold-hearted career mom who won't coddle her children and leaves all the nurturing to submissive dad mom Shane. And the down-to-earth Suttons from Kentucky. Stay-at-home mom Karen loves caring for her kids and positively overflows with motherly affection. Her macho coal miner husband Tommy expects to be served by his wife and even calls her the maid. Their 3 daughters are so spoiled they'll call Karen on the phone to deliver drinks and clean laundry to their room. This week, the Demolition Derby-loving Hollands from North Carolina. The whole family builds and paints cars and then destroys them just because it's fun. Their children's happiness is the #1 priority for laid-back Ginger and Cliff. Whatever kids Courtney and Curtis want, they get. And for strong-willed Curtis, that means nuggets nearly every meal. And the Browns of Florida. Joy and husband DeMarcus, also known as Sarge, run a fitness boot camp and passionately pursue excellence in fitness and health for themselves and their children. The whole family follows a strict, all-natural, raw vegetable-heavy, no-junk food diet, and everyone takes orders from ex-military Sarge, who insists Joy give him facials and prepare his bubble baths. Each wife is about to get a new husband, new children, and a new life.
Don't come back with no tire around your waist.